Hello and welcome back to I don't even know what episode this is of the Broletariat Podcast. I'm Joe, audio network Kaminski, and I'm here with Omar Wajeeh and Elijah Hintz.
Hey, it's episode 4.
I'm finally on an episode that is actually canon.
That is, if this episode is canon.
Yeah, this is the first time Omar's on a canon episode.
Yeah, because usually
he told me that during when we were uploading one of the special episodes, he was like, "When are we going to get together and actually record a legitimate episode? I kind of want to be on."
Yeah, I guess I'm just like I'm just a dancing monkey to these two, you know. Because I'm brown, isn't it?
Kinda.
Yeah, that has some weird racial
Well, no,
undertones.
a dancing monkey is entertaining. A dancing monkey is at least entertaining.
Yeah, and at least a monkey might be able to sing. So.
Oh, I get it. It's
shit. Oh shit.
Okay. So.
Anyways, we're gonna actually have to do a poll. We're gonna have to do a poll on Twitter, by the way. Who is the least popular member of the podcast? Who do you think it's gonna be if we do that?
Omar, or Omar.
Well, why do we have to do it?
Omar.
Why do we have to do a negative version of that? Why can't we just say who's the most popular?
Because the answer is going to be definitely Elijah.
Yeah, who's the most popular?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, you and all your 400-pound Russian Twitter bots are going to vote for Elijah.
Yeah, I mean Elijah and his comrades over here are gonna just.
I don't have any comrades. All of my idols are dead, and all of my enemies are in power. Pretty much.
Welcome to Edgy Tumblr post. I'm going to do what I always do best, and that's throw Elijah under the bus. What are we talking about today, Elijah?
Oh, nice. Nice, Joe. Well, I mean, speaking of Russian bots, are y'all ready for that impeach Trump party?
Yes. Here we go.
Annoying.
Today we're going to be talking about the people who think that Trump is going to get impeached.
Oh my God,
or
they're
at least are pushing for the impeachment of Trump.
They're so insufferable.
I'd just like to say, to start everything off, we're going to start the conversation. To all of you guys who want Trump to be impeached, I hope you enjoy at least 4 years of President Pence the theocrat.
Did
fuck you.
Did you guys see that excellent tweet that was like something along the lines of the plan is that like we impeach Trump and Pence, and then there's a constitutional crisis, and then it's Ryan versus Clinton, or something like that.
Oh my God!
And it was like, do you not understand that if Trump and Pence are impeached, then Ryan just becomes president?
And that lady was a lawyer.
Yeah, it's pathetic.
Oh my God!
It's a movement that is. It's a movement that is actually getting quite a bit of attention. How many signatures was it that actually went through the White House petition page to get Trump impeached?
Who cares?
Too many?
Who honestly cares? Nothing's gonna happen.
I swear to God, if Clinton becomes president through some form of trickery and whatever, I'm gonna sit on a fire hydrant.
I don't actually think that is going to happen. I don't believe in any way, shape, or form Clinton has any chance of bouncing back. We have to look at the chain of command at this point. And, of course, that goes president, vice president, I believe the Speaker of the House, currently Paul Ryan. And then after that, it's the whole cluster hell of cabinet members that he has. So I really don't think there's any chance of coming.
Yeah, we talked about this on a special episode that we're going to probably be releasing in chunks. With Elijah and I just by ourselves.
I have no idea about that special episode.
Oh, it's crazy.
I have no idea what happened in that 2-hour fucking episode.
Oh, it's more than 2 hours, but we're probably going to have to break it up into chunks of like 15 to 20 minutes. Make it into small little bites for you guys. And it's definitely entertaining. It is something, man. It's something. Talk about a lot of stuff. Oh, before we forget, may we address the autistic screeching coming from a Hillary bot on our Twitter page?
Which one?
Yeah, what's that about?
Remember the one the lady said The one with the flower crown filter that said Bernie Bros are sexist.
Why is
I fucking hate that flower crown.
Why do they always have the flower crowns? Why do these
the
people...
flower clown?
I'd like to say something about that girl.
Yeah, go ahead.
That girl said something stupid, got owned by all three of us, muted us, 24 hours later came back, said some other stupid shit like, oh, you guys, even though you muted us, and then came back to start the argument again. Muted us again, deleted her shit both times, by the way. The first time she deleted everything, second time she deleted everything. And then waited another 24 hours before blocking not only the Real Broletariat account, which you can follow at Real Broletariat on Twitter. If you retweet our pinned tweet, you have a chance to win a copy of the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution.
Oh my God.
And not only did she block that
Shameless.
account, she blocked all three of our personal accounts.
Yeah. Yeah, which means she took a long enough time to, like, read our thing's description, click around on our page.
Yeah.
It's not even in the description anymore. You have to, like, go through, like, some of our tweets. I took the names out of the description quite a while ago.
Oh, weird.
Thank God. I don't have to be associated with this pile of shite.
Yeah, this is pretty bad.
Yep.
This is a cringy podcast.
It's whatever.
It's at this point, it's just the people who are listening to this want to listen to three guys like bicker about progressive politics. It's not that great of a podcast.
I mean, you're
we do
speaking
have
out
a D- from the NRA. So.
Joe, why
already?
Joe, why is our I get the logo that you spent a long time on, but why is our cover photo on Twitter like legitimately like this? Why?
It was the same thing that our banner is on YouTube, but the resolution was so bad that it made us look like a spam bot. So I just Googled like Communist Party.
Can you not? It looks really terrible. It looks.
Wait,
awful.
did you just change the thing?
No, it's been there for like a week now. It was originally the YouTube banner, and I actually changed it because the resolution was so bad it made me want to puke.
Yeah.
What's our banner on YouTube? Oh,
The
No.
like explosion of blue, red ribbons throughout a
how did you make that
black
happen?
background or something.
It looks kind of nice. I mean, I don't know. All right. So these useful idiots who think that they're actually going to impeach Trump.
No, it's not that they're stupid for thinking that. He's already done like quite a bit of unconstitutional garbage.
Yeah,
I think it's
Literally
just these
every
people don't
president.
understand that like a lot of these people that are like, oh, impeach Trump, they think that'll just cause a special election to happen that somehow will magically end up with Bernie or Clinton. No, you're going to be handing the power to Pence.
I think most of these people are so delusional that they have to be Clinton supporters. Because almost all of the ones that I've been seeing with the impeach Trump thing have them speaking praises about Queen Hillary. So
well, remember
I can understand that.
Remember in like 2013 when for like I don't know, maybe a year or so, there started to be like Republicans and like high-ranking Republicans, like I think Boehner and like McConnell were like seriously considering, or said they were seriously considering starting the impeachment process on Obama, and of course they never did. They were just like bad mouthing and stuff.
well, look, I mean, there was
Republicanism.
they all said that, and then immediately retracted it as soon as President Obama called them all out.
No, and as soon as that happened, his popularity shot back up. It's like
That was actually the first video of the Young Turks that I watched. It came onto my recommended feed for some reason, and it said Republicans said they'd never said they wanted to impeach Obama. Roll the tape, and it was just like 9 straight minutes of Republicans saying, "Yeah, I think we should impeach Obama, Obama." And then it says like 2 weeks later, "Oh, we never said we will impeach Obama."
Yeah. But
back
I
when
mean,
the Young Turks were quality content.
Yeah, but I'm just like,
Trump was pushing the impeachment train in like 2012. Remember that for gross incompetence.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing though. I think these last 3 presidents that we've had have all had things that they've done that are wildly unconstitutional that are impeachable offenses.
Yeah, I agree.
George W. Bush, of course, those 3 unconstitutional wars that we've gotten into, for Barack Obama, the NSA surveillance,
the drones as well,
and the drone program, and of course, and we'll soon to see from Donald Trump, he's going to do something crazy. I can already guarantee it. And it's not going to help that all these lunatics on the left are going to push him to do something stupid by calling him all these names, like calling him a coward and calling him a pussy and calling him a puppet to Russia.
No, I'm all for calling Trump those names. It's just don't think you're going to get him impeached because you think that a lot of these people are delusional. They openly think that there's going to be a new general election. If Trump is
exactly.
No, you're going to hand the power to Pence.
Impeaching Trump, if you hate the Republicans or whatever, like, impeaching Trump shouldn't be your goal. But that's the thing. Like, these people don't hate the Republican Party. They think, like, moderate Republicans are perfectly fine, to work with. When I mean, the most moderate Republicans in the Senate have done anything but work with them for 8 years.
Well, trust me, if you put Pence in power by getting rid of Trump, you're going to give all of those GOP Republicans a breath of fresh air.
Exactly.
They could do a lot more with
people,
Pence than what they can do with Trump.
They get a giant man boner for Jesus.
These people aren't like trying to. Like, these people don't understand that for the Democratic Party to succeed, they have to beat the Republican Party. They just think that Trump is some, like, evil arch nemesis that they have to like he's like the final boss. Like, if they beat Trump, then they.
Hey, Elijah.
What?
You might even say he's like Voldemort.
Oh my God! Shut the fuck up.
Hey. We also talked about that in the special episode that should be coming out sometime.
Yeah, how the libs compare everything to Harry Potter or, like, Lord of the Rings or something.
It's so annoying. But yeah, Donald Trump is not Hitler. Donald Trump is not Voldemort. And
we lost Joe.
We're gonna continue on, man.
Yeah.
The show must go on.
Yeah, just go on.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, Trump is the least is the best Republican in power right now. You know, other than maybe Rand Paul, because at least Donald Trump will do things that are outside of the line he will do things outside of what is in the Republican platform. Like, he most likely will put forward an infrastructure spending, even if that means putting up some stupid wall along our border, which is a highly
worthless pursuit. Like, it's
not
even that it's like an evil thing to do. It's just that it's completely. No. It's just that it's useless. It's not going to actually do anything.
It's useless. Yeah. I mean, I have it's important to have border security, and it's important to have borders. You can't be a nation without borders. But there's no sense in putting up a giant wall
for 2,000 miles
on our Mexican border when half of the border is river.
Yeah, and you can literally just use a ladder like this. I mean, or a tunnel. I mean, it's a joke.
I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with a wall. It's super tacky, and of course it's not really efficient, but whatever. I'm not paying for it. If Mexico's gonna end up paying for it, whatever. All I know is I'm not paying for some stupid wall. But maybe this is part of Trump's giant plan to become the world's largest isolationist and just build an entire moat around the United States. Just giant buoys in the Atlantic Ocean for anybody across the pond can't come by. And they'll be like giant dirigibles in the air to stop people from flying.
The United States could be moved to an entirely different dimension, and Trump would still believe that the United States is under threat from foreigners.
The Martians, they don't send their best. They're bringing crime. They're bringing drugs. They're abductors.
Yeah.
And they must be brought to heel. Oh wait, that was a killer. Don't think about that.
Yeah. That's. I mean, Ugh. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what about these people who were like insisting that like the Kremlin now controls the White House, and then you ask them how they know that, and they're like, well, some random asshole at the NSA came forward and said, actually, we're not telling Trump everything that we know.
Not the NSA, the CIA.
Oh, was it?
The CIA, an anonymous CIA official said.
Exactly.
Maybe somebody somewhere, something like that.
Yo, Joe's back.
But yeah. Who
I think I'm back.
Welcome back, Joe.
Did anything?
You didn't miss much.
All right. As I said in the intro, my audio has not been that well. My entire audio drive just crashed, so it's a good thing I'm not recording these for once.
Yeah.
What
did
I miss?
We were talking mostly about how we went over that like a border wall isn't necessarily evil; it's just useless. Like it's not going to have any utility whatsoever. And we talked about how we talked about more how like the libs just have this like fantasy world where like Donald Trump is this arch nemesis that they just have to defeat.
Okay.
And then
Look,
okay.
The liberals right now are going through like the 7 stages of grieving or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we have to realize that throughout the entire election cycle, now I might be shooting to the moon because I didn't hear any of this, but throughout the entire election cycle, we were hearing about how the Republican Party was fractured into 5 different parties. Nate Silver called it the 5-ring Republican circus, and I went along with that. I actually thought that was the truth.
Yeah. It's such a joke.
Meanwhile,
because Nate Silver for the longest time was so accurate.
Who would have thought?
And then
Who would have thought that?
Trash.
Who would have thought that the like quarter of the U.S. population that's registered Republican would vote Republican?
Yeah.
But
the idea is real, though. It's 5 separate ideologies that control the Republican Party. But as we all know, Democrats fall in love, Republicans fall in line. So the 5 different mindsets are going to unite behind whatever the one is going to increase Republican power.
May I ask what those 5 rings are? I'm going to try to guess some.
I can just tell you right now, I've written so many different theses and articles about them. You have your moderate Democrats.
Oh wait, hold on. I want to hear what Omar thinks they are because I honestly have some guesses as well.
I said Democrats too, so I'm a moron. Try to guess those 5 though. I have them on.
All right. My guess is you're although it's probably dying, you're compassionate conservative.
Not actually one of them. That one's already dead.
All right, neoconservatives.
No, technically, yeah.
All right.
You're not getting the names right, but you're getting the ideologies right.
Libertarians.
Yeah. Libertarian is one of them, yes.
All right. The dreaded alt-right. Ooh, gaga booga booga.
You're not getting the names.
Is one of them?
I'm not going to because they're super technical and super history.
Is one of them like small business or like family values or something like that?
That is that would be your moderate Republican.
Oh, okay.
Theocrats.
Yes, your Christian conservatives.
How many was that? 3?
Yeah, you got 3 of them.
Just go ahead, Joe. Okay.
You have your moderate conservatives. These are your 2. There's not too many of these guys left, but basically, if I had to pick one guy that stands amongst the rest that could technically classify himself as a moderate, it would probably be Lindsey Graham.
Or what about John Kasich?
Yeah.
John Kasich is on the far side of moderate because we have to realize 5 or 6 years ago, John Kasich was considered radical in his party. He's just considered moderate now because the pendulum has gone batshit insane.
The Overton window has shifted so far right in this.
But you have your moderates.
John Kasich said some, insane things during the primary too. Like he would.
Of course.
He'd be telling like a goofy story about his like hometown or something, and then he would break into like. And by the way, we also need to like do a general strike on Yemen.
My favorite was when there was like this really creepy attack ad on Ted Cruz where his nose kind of like wrapped around his neck and formed a noose. And then he was like, I'll make sure to contact my super PAC. I mean, I will.
My actual favorite moment of the John Kasich campaign was that really fucking awkward advertisement. I actually have an article on my site about it. It was a really fucking awkward video of this guy in the audience who started crying, and John Kasich gave him this like really awkward hug in the middle of the fucking campaign. It's like compassionate conservatism, but yeah, it was hilarious. You have your establishment GOP. These guys are your Mitt Romney, your Jeb Bush, your typical GOP.
Yeah. Okay.
You have your Christian conservatives. These are your Ted Cruz, Mike Huckabee, Rick Santorums. Your batshit kind of to the theocratic kind of area. Your Mike Pence's. You have your libertarians, which is your Rand Paul, your Ron Paul, people like that. And the final one is technically called the Tea Party.
I think the Tea Party
still have those Tea Parties.
I think the Tea Party.
I mean, they're still out there. They're definitely out there.
I think what the Tea Party does is it pretends to be each of those things and synthesize them into one thing, but it's actually none of those things, and it's just like this insane.
The Tea Party was actually a pretty genius movement, and when it comes to the state and local levels.
At the local level, the Tea Party was extremely effective.
See, but the Tea Party is the literal example of Monroe's monster. I think that's what it is. It's the creational monster that kills its owner. It was such a great idea, and it helped them at the time, and it just fucking cut their head off.
No, it didn't.
In the 2012
no, but it actually didn't though. Like, I mean, they lost the 2012 election because, I mean, Republican candidates aren't ever popular. They're only popular with Republicans, and the only reason that Republican candidates ever win is because Democrats aren't popular enough, like Clinton. But they were extremely popular, or like extremely effective, even in the 2012 election at the local level. I mean,
I give you that.
They won back the Senate and the House.
Like, of course, they won. They won so many different
since
things.
Before they were formed in 2008. Basically, Obama was sworn in, and then this.
But how many? I ask you this question though: how many of those people that were elected in are currently in scandals and like the falling out? We're seeing a lot of the stars. Paul Ryan.
What politician isn't in a scandal sometime in their political career?
Who actually cares?
Lincoln Chafee.
Lincoln Chafee. You're right.
Bringing ethics to the White House.
It's never been.
I have no scandals.
No scandals. No scandals with Lincoln Chafee.
I love how Chafee didn't have the balls to say, like, by the way, Hillary Clinton is extremely corrupt and I'm not corrupt. Like, he just said, I'm an ethical politician. Like, he couldn't.
Dude, he's fucking Lincoln Chafee. He doesn't know what politics are. He thinks he inherited his position from his father. He's like, my dad just died. I had to vote for it.
He's got a giraffe neck with a mop head.
I feel so bad for that man. Like, he looks sort of like the cross between.
Do you know who you two probably forgot about that I actually sympathize with quite a bit?
Joe Webb.
No, fucking George Pataki.
George Pataki. I
actually sympathize with that man. He was as boring as watching wet paint dry.
No,
he was running for the Republican.
Who was the last person to enter the race? The ex-Virginia governor.
Oh, him. I forget his name, but he was. I liked referring to him as the old man who has nothing better to do, so he's running for president.
He actually was a decent moderate Republican.
I forgot his name.
There's no such thing. There's no such thing.
No. I'm not kidding. This guy, he was.
I disagree with Omar. In Omar's world, he is a great politician.
He had like a 20. He had like a 20-something minute interview with Jordan Sheridan, and he was while I disagreed with some of his things, he didn't sound crazy. One, he was even keeled. Two,
not crazy. Not crazy is a pretty low bar, don't you think?
No, but he was he was one that was able to. He was a Republican that was able to call out other Republicans for being dumb. So, and I give massive amounts of credit to.
He didn't do shit. He didn't call out anybody. He fucking sat and jerked off and got zero electoral votes.
But Joe, back to your point though, like, as many there are like 6,000 local seats or whatever in the country, or something like that.
I give you that. I'm giving you that.
Hold on.
If
Republicans control like 75% of those seats now or something like that, I mean, it doesn't matter if half of them are embroiled in scandals. They still control those seats. Like, they still have the power that they've won.
Just because they're all a bunch of corrupt.
Maybe it's because I'm still kind of stuck in this 2016 election. But the Tea Party allowed for the creation of someone like Trump.
Yeah, and they love it.
They wanted somebody like Trump.
Yeah, they're glad that happened.
They didn't.
No, they did. They absolutely did. And they came out.
I'm talking more of no. Hear me out. The Tea Party is the GOP, the establishment's monster. It's establishment to an extent. Like, it's killing the in-power guys, McConnell and Ryan and those kind of guys.
That's what the Tea Party was designed to do. Like, the Tea Party recognized that, like, the GOP wasn't extreme enough for them, and so
that's exactly what they did. They kicked out all the moderates out of the Republican Party.
The GOP still, like, supported them because, of course, Obama. So they're going to support whatever was going to keep Obama out.
No, that's a good point, though, Joe, is that, like, the GOP didn't...
The GOP funded the fucking Tea Party.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they were like, fuck Obama, and look what happened to him. It's Monroe's Monsters. They built this monster up, and now they're getting their head chopped off.
Yeah, and
it's the same thing. It's the same thing with progressives and Democrats. I mean, look at what the progressives did with Hillary Clinton. They absolutely destroyed the Democratic Party.
Well, that's the difference. Is the GOP, the DNC didn't fund the progressives. They were like they were doing the opposite of what the Republicans
depending on what your
shut down their
depending on what your definition of progressive is, I guess.
Did you guys see that?
True progressives.
Did you guys see that Trump's?
No true Scotsman.
Did you see that Trump was like there was some report where Trump found out from I guess his cabinet that the wall and his infrastructure plan are going to cost a considerable amount on taxpayers, and he was just like flabbergasted at this, and he was like, well, why didn't anyone tell me this?
I like how he came out and he was like, I'm going to get the government to do a better deal. You saw what I did with the airplane company. I'm going to make the government do a better deal. And people were like commenting, you are the fucking government, dumbass.
And you know what a lot of people have already forgotten? The first thing he did in office was raise taxes on the middle class.
And cut out the mortgage rate. Yeah.
For first-time home buyers. Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody forgets about that.
We don't.
I bet you Trump didn't even know what was in that executive order.
Yeah, he said.
No, he didn't. We already know he doesn't know.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that he only knows half of the things that are going by his desk.
Donald Trump doesn't even know how to sign his own name. Have you seen his signature?
I mean, who was the secretary of the Treasury under Obama that had to change his signature because it just was a bunch of curls?
Wasn't it Jack Lew or Jet?
Yeah,
I don't know how to pronounce it.
No idea.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of squiggles. It looked like me trying to like scratch out.
I don't know if that's actually how you pronounce his name or not, because I'm infamous for mispronouncing these people.
No, but as long as Trump gets to like sign his name on things, he will be happy, and he just wants to smile and sign his name on a thing and have cameras take pictures of him and get patted on the back.
Part of me actually, kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say feel bad for Trump, but part of me, feel. Part of me.
I don't think Trump ever wanted to be president.
No,
I think he never did. Deal. He wanted a book deal. He wanted to promote something of his, and then he wanted
to promote his name. He wasn't getting enough press.
Didn't like Bill Maher, someone say like, I bet if they offered him The Apprentice, then he would resign as president and go back to The Apprentice.
I think someone tried that. I think someone offered like, hey, I will give you my show, and at that point he was the president. At that point he was like, I can actually win this.
And by golly, he did it.
Thanks.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, he won, lost it,
I don't think he's happy. If he was happy there, he wouldn't be spending all of his weekends in Florida, and he wouldn't be, trying to avoid work at all costs.
No, I'm talking about, according to Donald Trump, that's how Obama spent like 7 years of his presidency.
And he's going to do whatever he wants. I think overall, didn't his one weekend trip cost like half as much as a lot of Obama's trips combined?
Yeah, it's something crazy like that, because he basically vacationed at his entire resort. And so like there had to be security for his entire resort. You would think that Donald Trump would be able to not have to spend money at his own resorts, wouldn't you think? He's not.
No, you have to pay these security people, and you have to rent out rooms for the security people.
Wait, Donald Trump isn't paying. I mean, the security is all funded by taxpayers. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like the tax money has to go to paying for the immense amount of security guards and Secret Service who have to follow him around, and he's being a dick and like renting out floors of his mansions and towers and shit to the fucking Secret Service. No, it should be, sir, this room, this level is you. If you want to be here, you need to let us have this.
It's
I
so
kind of
funny
want to
too.
go to Trump Tower, to any Trump hotel.
I've had a couple friends who actually stayed in one while they were in I forget where, but they went on a vacation, and they said it was basically super fucking like not worth it.
Well, wait, have you guys considered that, like, I mean, that's not even that much money, like, relative to Trump's entire industries, like, to rent out his entire floor or whatever to his own Secret Service agents and, like, profit off of, like, his own Secret Service agents? Like, imagine how...
Well, I mean, technically, he doesn't own any part of the Trump brand anymore.
He fucking does.
No, he does.
Don't fucking listen to that.
But no,
bullshit.
but just imagine...
No, he doesn't, but his kids do, so...
He
Yeah, no,
fucking
so
owns
by
it.
proxy,
It
by proxy
doesn't
he
matter.
does.
He can do whatever he wants.
He owns it by proxy, which is the important thing. I mean,
He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And when you're a celebrity, they let you do it.
Yeah, you can touch the Secret Service wherever you want. You know, you can grab them right by the holster.
No, you can't touch him wherever you want. Remember all those Secret Service agents in Las Vegas under Obama?
No,
I was thinking about the ones in like Brazil.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, true.
Or that.
Yeah.
Was
Was that Brazil or was that I thought it was Cuba for some reason.
I don't know. I don't care either. To me,
It was one of those. It was one of those countries that is in America.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Back at
I was
the
about
topic
to
at
say
hand,
something super racist, but
back at the topic at hand. We guys got to realize that all these people, especially on my Twitter feed, I'm seeing a whole bunch of these impeach Trump. That White House petition got a stupid amount of signatures, and it's kind of like you guys don't realize that you're not going to get Clinton in office. You guys don't realize that we're going to have a moderate guy who might be better than Trump.
Fantasy. That's the fantasy.
You're going to be
though.
putting someone who's worse than Trump.
Yeah.
Pence is a lot worse because he knows what he's doing.
These people
Like,
have still not
Pence
moved on
is vice
from...
president. Pence is vice president.
Guys,
He's only there because the Republicans know if something happens to Trump, we want a backup plan.
Well, there should have been some period
let's not
where
pretend
they
like Mike Pence doesn't know what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
there should have
been
there should have been some period in the past, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months now, where like, you know, everyone who caused the Democrats to lose, like the entire Democratic establishment, everyone who worked at the DNC, every reporter who was like favorable toward Clinton, everyone who caused the Democrats to lose should have like taken a moment,
Backed off.
They should have shut the fuck up. They should have licked their own wounds, and then they should have like come back into the spotlight if and when they were ready to accept that they've failed.
They should take a tour around America, and every place that and every single major city in every state, a large group of people should be able to surround these figures and throw rotten fruit and vegetables.
All right,
at
no,
them.
wrong. Anyways, if you actually look at this though,
Bad hombres.
the people who the DNC has like an attack Trump committee, and
Oh
it's
my
filled
God,
with
yeah, the
people.
war
It's
room.
filled with people who worked with Hillary Clinton. It's like no, these people have already proven that they can't attack Trump.
Well, and also it doesn't matter. It doesn't like
What
it doesn't.
what
guys,
is
guys,
the
really
thing
quick.
What is the thing that fucking Tom Perez says like all the time? You can't go into a knife fight with a spoon.
I believe that people who worked with Clinton and supported Clinton are actually more salty and confused and dedicated after the general election than Bernie Sanders supporters were after the primaries.
It's so satisfying to see.
Well, I mean,
They're
but here's-
more upset.
But here's the
Clinton
question.
supporters are more upset after the general than Bernie Sanders supporters were.
But here's the question: who is more productive?
We are the progressives. We're
course.
fucking kicking ass. We're trying to fucking recreate and fix this shit.
well, and
and
what's
centrists are just like, no, Clinton again.
And what's especially funny though is that like as soon as the election was lost, and even leading up to the election, they were like, Russia definitely interfering in the election, and like with an utter lack of any self-consciousness, they just completely dismissed 5 months prior or so that like the DNC colluded with
Pretty
CNN to
Exactly.
so
But Democrats didn't do nothing.
yeah.
You know,
They're not going to
that's-
care when the corruption's in their favor.
And that's what I was so upset, and that's why like I haven't been keeping track of the DNC race as of late because I was just so disappointed at that one town hall that I saw when one of the moderators asked Do any of you in this town hall believe that the DNC tipped the scale in favor of Hillary Clinton? None of them.
They stack those town halls, and you know.
Oh yeah, they absolutely do.
Sure.
Well, I mean, also
Keith Ellison was there.
Hold on. Also,
hand.
there's a social psychological phenomenon to this, where I mean, on the one hand, like obviously no one in the Democratic Party who's an elected official is going to like admit that, even if they know it's true, because
exactly. That's where I come from with Keith Ellison too. He didn't raise his hand because he doesn't want to lose the respect of voters.
Yeah, he needs the support of the other establishment
the
people.
Democratic base.
But hold on. There's a social psychological phenomenon where unless like 2 or 3 people, like it's when someone has to start the slow clap, right? Basically that's
Please
it.
Clap.
Someone would need to like raise their hand and say like, yeah, I know that this shit was rigged. And no one's willing to do that because then they look like a conspiracy theorist. And we still haven't normalized the reality that like CNN was purposefully sabotaging.
Can I just say, real quick about the DNC? I remember the day Donna. How do you pronounce her last name again?
Donna Brazil. It's just like the country.
Brazil. I thought it was Brazil, but you guys I don't know if it was you guys or someone in my other group of political friends. They like tried correcting me, so ever since then I've been kind of like, how do you actually say it?
Because we're not dumb.
Yeah. So Donna Brazil, when she first took over, I actually was watching C-SPAN like religiously at the time. Like I constantly would have C-SPAN open, and I remember her coming out, and it was the day of the DNC convention, like the second day or something, and she got up, and in the interview it was just like, I praise God and I love God and God is good and God is going to make it so Hillary Clinton wins. God is so good and great and God did this. God is all over. And she just wouldn't shut the fuck up. And it's just like, no, you are not. Shut up. You know, you are the fucking right now the interim chair of the Democratic Party at the Democratic Convention. This isn't like a bullshit town hall or a bullshit like interview. Yeah. It's you are literally in front of the DNC stage, and in a country with the separation of church and state, and you're going to praise God for 30 minutes.
Well, African Americans are fairly religious.
Omar. Omar.
No, I don't. That's wrong.
In certain there's some validity.
To bring it up here as that is not why she did it though. She did it because she's fucking pandering to the religious people.
Joe, can I just all right? So
I think it's actually genuine.
Elijah, talk.
Amongst Gen X and especially Boomer black people, religiosity is extremely high, and and conservative religiosity is extremely high. The reason that the reason that like the kinds of people who go to like churches in black communities don't vote for like the evangelical Republicans is that they know that even if they share their like religious convictions more, they don't share their economic interests, and economic interests will always
prevail. Always.
Yeah,
We've talked about that in a previous episode.
But more to the point though, like younger.
Probably one I wasn't invited on.
Younger black people.
Oh, the one you were watching.
Especially most black millennials are not like religious extremists in the same way. Like I mean, it's still.
Well,
see, but you are the leader of you are the fucking interim chair of the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
And when asked a question about the candidate, you're going to go, oh, praise God, God is great. And you're going to talk about just God? Like, that's a deflection.
Well, still, an overwhelming majority of Democrats are Christian, so it makes... And again, we don't know, the religious affiliation or the commitment to her religion or her faith, Donna Brazil is, but there's a very good possibility that was just genuine,
if it's genuine, then that's even scarier, because your first reaction on national television when presented with a political question is to just go God, 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 God.
Well,
God,
look,
God,
I mean, I felt the same way when during the Grammys when Chance the Rapper came up for the first time. I thought he was like waging jihad.
I don't even know who the fuck Chance the Rapper is. I know he's on the Kit Kat commercial. The Kit Kat commercial. That's all I ever see him on.
No, but if you yeah, that's evident. If you watch the Grammys, I mean, the first time he got up, like every fourth word was God. It was weird, man.
There's a difference between an acceptance speech for a fucking music award versus I am the leader of this political party, and this is my stance on the political question that you just asked me.
Well, not to justify.
maybe you don't want to like continue to compare Donna Brazile to other evangelical black people in the public spotlight.
But not that this justifies or advocates the behavior of Donna Brazile, but the right does this all the time.
Yeah,
it's probably like some form of trying to show some faux moral superiority or virtue signal or something.
Again, no. There's no justifying. There's no comparing. There's no.
Look, I'm not saying that it was justifying or that.
No. The whole point of this is I said this is a leader of a political party asked a political question and she answers with a ramble about God, and your response is, oh well, Chance the Rapper did this, and oh well, she has a religion. Yeah, she has a religion. That doesn't mean she has the right to fucking blast about it in front of the DNC.
What's that convention that pretty much all of the Republican primary candidates went to? It was like this evangelical convention where
isn't it always in like Illinois or one of the I states?
No, it's in like Iowa.
It's in one of the I states.
You guys know like the thing I'm talking about though, right? And like basically it's just like it's like a chance for them to like prove who's more Jesus-y, kind of.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I talk to Jesus and he touches me at night.
That first Republican debate, the very first one, where the last question was fucking, how close are you to God? I wanted to rip my fucking hair out. Man. I wanted to rip my fucking hair out because that is just an inappropriate question to ask at a fucking debate to decide who's really is,
president. And not only that, but it's so non-substantive.
Exactly.
It's just a way to try to. It's just a way to try to humanize some very unhuman-like and very very.
But what we're looking at though is that should be illegal. It's like there's separation of church and state, and you know what? If any of those Republicans would have said separation of church and state, why is that a question here? Hell, they would have gotten a hell of a lot of respect from me, but they didn't. I had to listen to Ted Cruz talk about how he masturbates to Leviticus every night, and Donald Trump try to figure out what's his favorite passage from the Bible. I didn't want to hear that.
Yeah, one time I came home from Sunday school, and my dad's an atheist, my mom's a Protestant, and I myself am a Christian, but
you are Christian.
Yeah, I went through this edgy like teen atheist phase though when I was like 13.
Yes,
so anyway,
I did not know. That is live on the air. Something we're learning about.
Omar already knew. Anyway, so when I was like 11, I like
you fuckers probably talked about it when you kicked me out of the podcast in your little 2-hour special session.
When I was 11, I went to like my dad after Sunday school, and I was like, in Leviticus it says that being gay is wrong, and my dad just looks at me. He's like, maybe Leviticus was a homophobe. I'm sorry.
And then you became a gay.
I became a gay.
That always reminds me of like all of these like Christian men are so like homophobic, and then they get in the scandal where it turns out they've been like sucking dick at the.
Ted Haggard is the best example. That huge televangelist that kept proselytizing to his tens of thousands of fans,
And we're gonna have a whole episode on that later, actually, because I do want to talk about.
And then
the whole hypocrisy of the Christian right, especially.
What's Bachman's husband's name? Marcus or something?
Oh, he's so gay.
I don't remember.
Dude, he's so gay.
Oh my God. He ran a gay conversion therapy. I'm sure he touched little gay kids.
No. Stop. No, that is all going to be speculation in a different episode. And I do plan on talking about it simply just because all of these like super homophobic people end up not only getting in scandals of themselves, but causing shit like the Orlando massacre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for a whole nother day. We're done with that.
Back on the DNC chair. There is one candidate though that did speak up.
Hear about this again.
That did speak up about the primaries being rigged against Bernie Sanders, and that was a guy by the name of Sam Ronan. Sam Ronan is a ex-military guy. He's also fairly young. Fresh to the scene, doesn't really have much experience outside of that, but seems to have a lot of the right ideas. started to adopt Bernie Sanders' platform.
To be completely honest, I had never heard of Sam Ronan until you sent me that video this morning. He sent me a video DM this morning.
Oh, that guy that guy was not Sam Ronan. That guy, who
really?
I also have who I also have loads of respect for, was a candidate by the name of Raymond Buckley.
I've never heard of either of these guys.
Raymond Buckley is
fucking election.
I think he's he's the party chair for the Democratic Party in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And he went out there during a debate, not during a debate, but I think during a town hall. He was on C-SPAN, so you probably were watching it, but were either asleep.
No, I stopped marathon watching it shortly after the
But he said something that I honestly really respect, and he said, with the hundreds of millions of dollars of worth of ads that we had during the general election, and I'm just paraphrasing because I can't remember it word for word. He said, and we spent our money saying he's so offensive and blah blah blah.
Oh my God, yeah.
We did not have a message that appealed to anybody. Did
you remember, Omar? Do you remember that meme that was circulating? That was just like, "Encourage me to vote for her without mentioning him." Go.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, hold on a second, guys.
No, I remember, Joe. I tried to write an article on your website.
I asked you to take over.
Called "The Case for Hillary Clinton," and I couldn't do it. I couldn't finish it. It was so disingenuous. And I couldn't bullshit any longer. I was like, I can't do it.
Guys,
really can't. You really can't.
Joe,
I really couldn't. But you still
long enough tangent. Come on. So here I'm on his page now, and he's got like in all caps, bold letters. That means no corporate money, and like Ronan. And I mean, look, I like the idea of not using corporate money, but I like the idea of not using corporate money a lot less than I like the idea of winning back actual seats. And I'm a little skeptical of whether we can actually win back seats without...
If progressives actually don't stop what they're doing and they keep pushing on a local level, then I don't believe we need corporate money. As Bernie Sanders proved, the grassroots movement can happen.
Look,
yeah, I think it's possible.
What is it, like 82% of this country believes that corporations and large financial interests should not be contributing large sums of money.
Real quick,
guys, there's some literature out there, and I mean like good political science, not like the cheap bullshit that you get from pundits, about alternative structures of fundraising, even in a extremely corporate system like this one. I'll see if I can find what I'm talking about and send it to you guys, and that might be a good topic for a future episode, is like alternative finance options for political parties.
I don't mean to cut this discussion short. It seems like we did what we always did best, and we went on tangents. We can't have another 2-hour thing going live. I don't know if that one's up yet. It's probably not. That'll probably be later.
We're at about 48 minutes at this point.
Yeah, we're gonna cut this one a little short, I believe, probably at around an hour. So we're not done yet. But I want us to steer back to the original point that we were making. Why Trump getting impeached won't be a good idea for Democrats as a whole.
Well,
because then the Democrats again, and the Democrats will then they won't have anything. Already the Democrats have already shown that they're not fighting for anything, and they're just blindly opposing.
Can we all first just agree that like there's no chance that they're going to impeach Trump?
Oh no!
At this point, I do not know. With the current
if the Republicans,
Senate, no. With the current Senate, Omar, with the current Senate, no.
Okay.
Because they're gonna do obviously party loyalty. However, by 2018, if we do happen to swap the House, I can guarantee you it's gonna be something on the chopping block, because they're gonna say, "Hey, look, you've done all of this unconstitutional bullshit, and revenge for all the obstruction you did for the past 8 years. Have a great time." I still don't believe, if you let me finish. I still don't believe that it's going to happen unless – I don't even think it's going to be on the chopping blocks unless something horrific comes out to where not even Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan can, like, cover it up.
Well, Democrats are so spineless and so weak that they won't do it even if they really want to.
Yeah, true.
Modern Democrats are. We're talking about possible candidates in 2018.
Well, let's be honest. I don't see enough progressives, so-called.
Yeah, we need to think long term. Like we can start taking back seats on, especially
Joseph Kaminski for president 2048.
We can especially start taking back local seats in 2018, but on a longer time scale. Like that's just, it's not feasible that we're gonna take back the Senate in 2018.
Oh no, we're not.
And
I can tell you now, we're not. I'm saying if. That's the big.
We might
question.
steal a seat.
We're gonna steal a few seats back. Trust me.
Yeah.
We're gonna rip the seat from Joe Manchin's ass.
Absolutely.
I actually think we have a chance of taking more governorships than we do of senateships.
I would agree with
hopefully
that too.
we'll get rid of Snyder in Michigan. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I see no reason for
people
Snyder
are pretty
to
disgusted, I think, overall with their governors.
Omar,
I
calm
swear
down.
to God. This is my state, so I get to be a little bit more passionate.
But here's the thing, though. When I was talking about the Tea Party, the rise of the Tea Party, Snyder is one of the bitches that rode that wave, and that was who I was trying to refer to when I was saying, look, it's kind of like failing now. Snyder was riding the wave of early Tea Partyism, and now we're looking at him now like, oh shit, you poisoned an entire city, you know?
Pretty much.
So Snyder is one of them, but you also, I'm just watching all of these states like struggle with the people that they elected in the first wave of Tea Partyism, and then when I hear, oh, Tea Party was a success, yeah, it might have been a success for controlling shit for 5 years.
Well, no, they accomplished all of their goals. Like the Tea Party only had short-term goals; they didn't have long-term goals, and their short-term goals that they were going to take control of their own party. And they did. They did. And
then they drove it into the fucking ground and threw it to the right.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They don't care about that. Like, they only cared about taking back control of their party. Yeah, exactly. They got everything they wanted.
They don't care. I mean, a lot of these people see failure as success.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Yeah, so. Well, as soon as the Tea Party took control of the Republican Party, I believe that is where we started to see the demise of it, because you cannot have a functioning political party that runs off of the idea of no governance.
Yeah, no, exactly, Joe. You're being delusional if you think the Republican Party is on their decline. It is the Democratic Party that is on their decline.
Just because you have power does not mean you are actually succeeding at what the fuck you have to do.
How well did the Democrats do in blocking any of those Trump cabinet nominations?
I just said, have I not said this entire time? Both parties are failing. Both parties are in the decline in terms of what their immediate goals and long-term goals are.
What are you talking about? The Republicans are affecting every platform they want.
You're just wrong, Joe. You're just wrong. They hold the majority of pretty much.
All right, so I guess I have to beat it into your thick fucking skull then. Just because you have power does not mean you're not in demise.
Just freaking out.
No, I'm not freaking out. It's just I wish I could say fucking 4 words without Omar jumping in. It's fucking true. You look at this shit. Yes, Republicans have control. Yes, they have the majority of governorships. They have the majority in the Senate. They are looking at a majority in the House. They have the entire cabinet got through. That's going to fucking happen when Republicans fall in line. But if you actually look at what the party stands for, as you have said, their short-term goals are complete. The long-term goals are in question. And now you actually look at these people, they're still struggling. Despite the entire Republican Party being fallen in line under Donald Trump, for the most part, you're still going to have those strugglers saying no. Despite them falling in line and doing as they're told, they still have their differences that they need to work out. Now, I do not believe that, as I did 2 or 3 years ago, that the 5-ring Republican circus is as splitting, as fracturing as we would like it to be. The real fracturing of a party is coming from the Democratic Party. But I ask you this. How well-formed is a political party that stands on the basis of no governance? We stand on the political party that wants politics to not exist. We want to stand on this political prowess where there is no governance, basically. And that's what the Tea Party short-term was. They take away all the power that we have. Except for when
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So here we go. Omar started off with, you're delusional, you're wrong. And then he fucking lets me talk, and suddenly, you're not wrong.
Yeah, but I didn't say that you were right. I was just agreeing with the fact that Tea Partiers, one of their biggest philosophies is that government, by definition, does not work. So they vote and place people into high positions that don't believe in government.
That don't even do their job.
That is what they do. And that's right. Now, as I said before, what did the Tea Party do to the Republicans? They slammed it into the ground and threw it to the right. That is what they've done. And if that is not radicalizing a party, yeah, they succeeded in that. Yeah. Now, congratulations, you're putting everything on a demise. If you say that life in 2 years into Trump's first term is going to be better than how it was 10 years ago, wow, we got some refocusing to do in your party, don't you?
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
hold on.
I mean,
I think
10
there's some
years from
confusion.
2018.
These
to
voters,
2008.
you realize, these fucking voters, oh yeah, they succeeded in doing what they wanted to do and ruining their party. Okay, yeah, all these guys also ruin their chances of mortgages. They ruin their chances of higher wages, which is a lot of what the Rust Belt and coal miners want. Oh, they ruin their chance of labor unions, which a lot of these voters actually don't really understand that they need. They ruined a lot of the platforms that they actually thought, oh, we'll get from this, and it was taken away from them.
But again, they don't believe in those things anyway. A lot of them don't believe in unions.
Okay, so you are actually getting it confused between the people who control this movement versus the people who are fucking voting for the movement.
Joe,
I'm talking about the people that are voting. Do you know how many people? Do you know how many people that voted? That voted for these Tea Partiers that are so anti-union.
Well, I give you this. I have several friends that are in this so-called Tea Party movement. Several people who voted in quite a few of these movementers. These people who claimed, oh, we're the Tea Party. And if you go up to these people to this day, oh, how do you feel about Obamacare? Oh, I hate Obamacare. Obamacare shit. I'm so glad Obamacare is getting taken away. And I go, okay, you realize you don't have insurance right now? And they go, yeah, I do, under the Affordable Care Act. These guys are fucking morons who don't understand what they're doing to themselves.
Joe, all right. So there seems to be some confusion about you're saying that like life is going to get worse for all these people, and you're right, it's going to get worse for all these people. But that's not a political loss. It's a financial loss. That's a personal loss. It's like a loss to everything.
Then I guess what the Democrats did to the Rust Belt in Michigan wasn't a political loss.
Let me finish.
I think
Omar,
Joe.
Shut up. Let me finish. Shut the fuck up. Like, if life is terrible for all these people, but they continue voting Republican and Republicans continue winning, then the Republicans are still in power and they're still affecting their platform. So politically speaking, they're still winning. And
that was exactly what I was going to say. I think, Joe, you're trying to equate everyday life and success of the people that are voting and the goals of that party. Yeah. They don't care that the government is crashing and burning.
History proves
you would hope that these things are congruent, but
that
they're
the
not.
people within the party are going to change their fucking platform once they themselves get fucked over. History has proven this time and time again. For the short term, congratulations, Republicans. Congratulations, Tea Partiers. For the long term, you've just put your party into the demise unless you make your voters happy. History has proven time and time again that people will fucking riot when their party fucks them over.
And I think that's a great
place to end.
To stop today.
We're about an hour in. This has been the Broletariat Podcast. To answer Joe's question from before, this is episode 4 of the Broletariat Podcast.
Or 5?
No, 4. No, I swear to God, it's 4. If it's not 4, then I'm gonna.
Well, the last one we uploaded was 3. This one's getting uploaded next regardless, so this is 4.
Okay, this is 4.
Now I have to say, we may have gotten heated this episode. That's life. Maybe it's actually listenable, watchable for once, I guess I should say. We're still having that contest. If you want to go onto our Twitter at Real Broletariat, retweet our pinned tweet. That contest is actually going to be going on until March 1st, where we're actually going to draw the first winner, quote unquote live. These aren't live, but we're going to pull our first winner from the podcast on that day. Rules are simple. All you got to do is retweet that tweet, follow us on at Real Broletariat. That's all you got to do. We really do appreciate those who are subscribing. We don't have that many yet on the channel, but I'm hoping that changes soon as well.
Yeah, if you follow us on Twitter, go subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you click that bell if you're on mobile so that you can get notifications whenever our shit pops on.
And we do upload, for the most part, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Of course, scheduling has been a bit of a concern with Elijah being sick and our audio drives crashing. My audio, I should say. And such is life, but our schedule is and should be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for perhaps this entire season. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually going to split these into seasons, and season 1 will be actually going on until June 1st.
Ooh.
June 1st will be when we take a little break. I don't know how long we'll be taking a little break, but we will be taking one, and we'll come back with season 2. That's way in the future, though. We don't have to worry about that for now. Other than that, a lot of things went on this episode. We were talking about Trump's, in case you skip to the end, like I know some people do on YouTube. We talked about Trump's impeachment. We talked about Donna Brazil. We talked about the Tea Party crashing the long-term goals.
Wrong.
Everybody got into a little bit of an argument.
Wrong.
Such is life.
Yeah.
I encourage you all, if you're following @RealBroletariat, do the opposite of what that chick on Twitter did and follow instead of blocking all of our personal accounts. I'm Joe Kaminski. You can follow me @PublishingMinds.
I think that's your cue, Elijah. But you don't have to follow us. Just the more important out of the three of us to follow would be Joe. He's
wow. No.
Well, I'm just keeping it 100 here.
Keeping it 100.
Hey,
I don't
you gotta
know.
be. Hey, if you're not hip with the kids, then I've got to be hip with the kids, and I'm not that hip with the kids. So. I'm like that. I'm like that Steve Buscemi meme. Like, what up, fellow kids? And Elijah's furiously tapping on the keyboard.
Okay.
Before we go, I want to encourage you all. Whenever the next episode is, we're probably going to be talking more about the Justice Democrats and their platforms and breaking stuff down like that. So I would advise you all to go check out the Justice Democrats, their website, which I believe is justicedemocrats.org. Check out their platform. If you think anybody is, if you think anybody, or even if it is yourself, that is capable of running for office in state,
you can
federal, or in like local elections, you can nominate them. I already nominated Joe for Orange County, so.
Why would you do that to me?
I'm just kidding. Although
don't do that. Don't nominate us.
I'm just joking.
If you want to nominate someone, you should nominate Michael Andoja, who was very upset that I nominated him for his own home district.
All right, but
anyways, that's about it. We're gonna cut this off. Elijah, do you have